Welcome to Marketplace with Charles, where dreams are turned into reality. Marketplace is brought to you by Art of Skincare, the company that brings out the beauty in you, as well as Kuwisa Lodge, from deep in the heart of Mabalingwe Nature Reserve. Well, thanks to Dr. Kone of Smiles to Wow for my invisible braces that even you, the viewer, can't even notice them. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we empower and equip you with tools that you need to achieve entrepreneurial dreams. Each week, we bring you insight from experts in different fields of business, from both men and women of faith. Today, we sit with a business coach, a consultant, a brand analyst, and a lecturer of note, but is also an author. More than ever before, it is imperative to emphasize the need of entrepreneurs in business to stay and make a difference. COVID-19 will render some business models obsolete and redundant, with only the relevant ones left standing. My guest will talk about the need for coaching as entrepreneurs face the challenge of navigating the uncharted waters that comes with the new normal. Well, help me welcome Sibusiso Mfeka in your home, your hotel room, or wherever you may be watching this episode today from. Sibu.
Yeah, Baba.
Welcome to Marketplace with Charles.
Thank you very much for having me, and also hello to your viewers.
You know, when I read your introduction,
Yes.
I realized that you have got many hats.
Okay.
You're a coach, you're a lecturer,
Yes.
almost everything.
Okay.
Who is Bu?
If you were to sum me up,
Yes.
Sibusiso is a coach. I am a certified accredited coach with Comenza, which is Coaches and Mentors of South Africa. But over and above being a coach, I consult with SMEs on their business issues. I do brand analysis, especially on political branding. I'm an author, I'm a publisher as well. Then I also do lecturing at the Bible College in Randburg, where I lecture theology and also missiology. Yeah, that's me.
If you talk about political branding, what is that?
Political branding is basically about how political parties and political movements and institutions are putting themselves out there in the public, especially during the time of elections. There is a lot of branding that is happening, where you see a lot of color, you see a lot of messages, you see a lot of upcoming political parties coming into the swing of things, trying to get their way into parliament or into municipal seats and all that. So when we talk about political branding, we talk about how are these organizations, these new entrants and the old ones are positioning themselves to win the vote. Because at the end of the day, it is not just about you saying this is what we will do, but it is also about how you position that message in the heart and the mind of those that you want to lure in so that they can vote for you. So that's what political branding is all about.
But you just said you're a lecturer in the Bible College.
Yes. Yes.
And here you are with politics.
Yes.
How do you measure the two?
Well, I've been graced to have studied political sciences up to postgraduate level, and then I also have studied theology up to postgraduate level. So I think intellectually, God has graced me to be able to merge politics and theology and ministry together. As a matter of fact, for me, all these things are not different. It's just one thing. It's just that I have found many ways of how to do these things, but I'm just doing one thing, which is to do the will of God in my life upon the earth.
But you have got a lot of people out there who said, if you're a Christian, you can't be a business person. If you're a Christian, you can't play in a political field.
That's true.
And now you're a Christian, the worst part of it, you're a lecturer. And now you are uplifting some political organization.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Or what can you say to someone who says, no, politics and Christianity can't mix?
Believe me, politics and Christianity, they do mix. As a matter of fact, when you're a Christian, you can't avoid not to be in politics. Because Jesus came, and the first thing he said is that repent, for the kingdom has come. That was a political statement by itself. Okay. So if one says politics and Christianity do not mix, then what do we make of the fact that Jesus interfaced with politicians? He interfaced with the Pharisees, who were politicians at the time. He interfaced with the scribes. He interfaced with the Roman government, you know. So you can't say if you're a Christian, then politics and Christianity, they do not mix. As a matter of fact, some of the well-known political parties of today, could be the ruling party, could be these other parties, they came out of a Christian system. For example, when the ANC was established, it was established in Mangaung. And the first time it was established in a church. You know, the first gathering was held in a church. So it tells you that you cannot avoid bringing politics into what Christianity is all about. Because the very dying on the cross of Jesus was a political statement by itself. Well, we can argue that, but yeah, that's how it is.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Let's go back to the topic of the day before we digress too much.
It's fine.
Okay. I want you to take me through the playing field of entrepreneurship during this COVID pandemic and post-COVID pandemic. How does it look like?
During COVID, entrepreneurship is rising. Statistics are saying that in the past 7 months of us being on lockdown, there's been more than 200,000 new companies that have been registered. So it tells you that people are beginning to understand that if they don't participate in entrepreneurship, they may find themselves in trouble. Whether those companies will succeed or not, that's another story. But the issue is entrepreneurship is rising. You look into social media, everywhere you go, it's like everybody's doing business these days. When you're talking to somebody, asking them, what are you doing? I am pushing this and this, I'm hustling, I'm doing that, I'm selling that, I'm doing that. So there is a buzz of entrepreneurship during COVID. When we talk post-COVID, for me, it becomes academic in terms of the debate, because anytime if I say post-COVID, then I have to ask myself to say, when will COVID end? So it becomes difficult. But if I were to say,
as if you're a prophet.
Exactly. But however, because we're people of faith, we have a belief, COVID will come to an end one day. And when it does come to an end, entrepreneurship would have taken space, because people who have now been accustomed to doing business, they would have been accustomed to enterprising on a daily basis and starting businesses and growing businesses and building those businesses beyond the lockdown, beyond COVID.
But then what is the likelihood of this startup business failing within the first or the second year of existence?
Yeah, I normally hear people say businesses fail within first, second, third year of their existence. My belief is that businesses fail because those who started those businesses were not tenacious, or there are certain things that they did to make sure that those businesses do not go forward. The issue is, if you are in business, whether you like it or not, you will fall many times. Especially if you are in entrepreneurship, you will fall many times. You will fail many times. But the greatest failure is not in rising after you've failed. So when people are saying there's a likelihood that within the first or second year you may fail in business, that may not be so at the same time, depending on the kind of support that you're having. If you do not have the support, then that may happen. But if you have as much support that you need in terms of the information, in terms of institutions that are supporting you, in terms of the capital that you need being injected into the business, then you may succeed. But ironically, there are companies that fail with that much support, because at the same time, you have to look at the factors that are happening within the business and the factors that are happening outside the business that can bring failure or success.
If I were to ask you, will you say those are the only causes, or there are major causes of businesses to fail?
There are major causes of business to fail. But for me, the major cause why a business fails. It's first of all how do I define failure?
Okay.
How do I define failure to myself? Do I define failure based on the fact that I tried to do something and it didn't work, then I consider myself to be a failure, or I consider my business to have failed? Or do I define failure based on the fact that when failure happened, I did not rise up again?
Okay.
You know? So I think it's very much important for one to be able to say, we need to be able to define failure. Then the major cause of failure then comes in one not being able to rise after the failure has happened. Because the truth is, I mean, I've been in business for years now, for years. I think I started being in business when I was 19, you know. I've started business after business after business after business, and business after business after business have failed. But I'm still standing here today. I'm here today. I'm a business coach. I'm sitting here with you today discussing issues of business and how entrepreneurs can go forward. Why? Because I decided to say it doesn't matter how much failures I have along the way. What matters is how many times have I risen when those failures happen. So for me, the major failure, it's when you don't rise after the failure has happened. That is the major failure. Because everything else you can deal with.
So in other words, you're saying failure is failing to learn from your failures.
That's true. That's true. Learning and implementing the learnings.
And if we were to put it in other words, you're also saying that your previous failures in business, they made you the man who you are today. And they're making you the best coach ever. Because you can teach me and tell me where to go and where not to go.
That's true. Because for me being a coach, it's not only book knowledge. You know, there are people who are coaches because of the fact that they learned it somewhere. Mm-hmm. I became a coach before I was trained as a coach. So I come with the experience of the pain and the tears that I have shared because of the failures of my businesses. Mm-hmm. And that experience that I bring in, when I now bring in the theory, I can create the kind of programs that can take the entrepreneur forward, because I know where you are. I know what you're going through because I've been there. Mm-hmm. Actually, I probably have been through worse than what you have been through. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to help you to navigate now this world of entrepreneurship.
But then where does coaching in entrepreneurship start and where does it end?
Coaching can be one day. You can come to me and say, man, I've got this challenge, and how do I navigate my way out of it? And I give you coaching just for that one day. You have your solution, and we go. Or we can decide to say, let's go for 3 months, and let's meet twice a month, and so that we work through your problems, your challenges. Because at the end of the day, coaching is there to give you solutions about the problems that you have. But one of the things that people don't understand about coaching, people will come to me and say, please coach me. And then they will expect me to tell them what they need to do. But that's not coaching. Mm-hmm. Coaching is me extracting solutions out of you, because you already have solutions. Yes, you bring problems, but I'm there to show you that within those problems, there are systems for solutions that you can create. Mm-hmm. But then we then say, okay, because coaching has got a lifespan, if you want us to walk a journey, then let's do coach mentoring, where we move from coaching into mentoring. Now in mentoring, I walk a journey with you. I give you support. I am there for you every step of the way. But also, I am transferring knowledge based on my own experiences.
Okay. But what makes coaching important?
What makes coaching important is that there are certain things in business that you may not be able to navigate by yourself.
Yeah.
You therefore need somebody who is not part of the business, who can be able to show you where the challenge is, where the problem is, but also who can be able to help you to be bold enough to implement certain solutions that you've been wanting to implement, but you could not implement for one reason or another. You know, so coaching is very much important, is that it gives you perspective, it gives you clarity for things that you thought you knew, but you never knew that there could be another side to this problem. There could be another solution that I can implement that can work. Yeah.
If someone were to come to you as a coach,
Yes.
I say, I need a coach, I need a mentor.
Yes.
what will you say? Which one is the best? Do you need both?
Yeah.
Or do you need one of them
Yeah.
for a startup?
You need a coach because you want to solve a problem.
Okay.
But you need a mentor because you need knowledge transfer because this person is experienced in the area that you want to work in. So my question would therefore be, Babu Ngobeni, do you want somebody who will help you to solve a problem or somebody who will transfer knowledge based on where they've been, where you want to be? What is it that you want? Where do you want to go? Then based on your answer, then I will recommend what is necessary, either a coach or a mentor.
Wow. Well, viewers, it's hot here. You know, the wealth of knowledge that Ubaba Sbu has is too much. Well, after the break, I hope he's going to download more from his heart and from his head. See you soon. Welcome to Marketplace with Charles. I am still sitting here with a great man of God, talking entrepreneurship, coaching, and mentoring, because we believe that is more important to any startup business to have a coach, to have a mentor, to have someone who will walk with you and show you the pitfalls. Well, you had it. Some businesses, they fall, not because they're not great businesses, but simply because there's no one to show you the way. So,
Baba.
the Bible puts it clearly.
Yes.
How can the blind lead the blind, lest they both fall into a ditch?
Into a ditch, yes.
Now tell me, what the fact that we are doing business in this time and age where we have got this pandemic, the COVID-19, what has got that to do with anything?
It actually says we are a tenacious people. We are people who are resilient.
Yeah.
We are people who understand that this is not the end of us. We are people who understand that what we are going through will one day come to an end, and life still has to go on. We are people who understand that when things go the other way, when we had planned to go the other way, all we need to do is to adjust the sails so that the wind can blow us in the direction where we want to go ultimately. So the fact that we're doing business during this time, it says we are strong people, because here we are alive, you know, and that by itself, we need to be able to say to God, thank you for still giving us life during this time. That when we look all around us, we see people dying, people being sick and all that. But here we are, we're still standing. We're still being able to do business. We are still able to make decisions concerning our businesses, concerning where these businesses need to go in the midst of an economy that is somehow not so functional as we have because of COVID-19 and other factors. So what I can say is that we're still here.
But then what are the prospects of getting funding?
I'm dealing with a number of entrepreneurs who would come to me and say, please develop a business plan for me. And I would ask, first thing, why do you want a business plan? It's because I want to get funding. I said, but we are in COVID season. Who has money to give you so that you can start a business? You know, so it's not easy for funders to give money for people to start businesses or to even grow businesses, because funders are now looking at the profitability. They are looking at what is happening in the country. The macro environment of our economy, does it allow for such a business that one wants to start to thrive? Will such a business be able to thrive? So they're looking at a number of factors as to, can they take a risk to fund this business? Will they be able to get their money back? So it's not easy during this time to have funders give entrepreneurs money. In as much as there are so many programs that are out there that the government is talking about and banks are talking about to say, apply for this, apply for that, apply for that. Yes, applications are coming in, but there are people who are sitting in the panel to adjudicate those proposals and those plans. And they are looking at what is happening in the country, and they are looking at the fact that will this be profitable for us as a funder? Because at the end of the day, when the funder gives you money, they also have to say, what's in it for us? They don't just give money, you know, what's in it for us? So whether it's a government institution, whether it's an angel funder, it doesn't matter who they are, they have to say what's in it for us. So if they feel, after all the assessments they've done, after all the analysis they've done, due diligence and all those things, then they realize, say, you know what, we cannot touch this one. You know, so it's not easy for funders to give money during this time because of the factors that we're faced with.
In the beginning of the show, we just said there are hundreds and thousands of companies that have been registered during COVID.
Yes.
And yet there are no funds to do this business.
Yeah.
Then what is the solution? How do we navigate around that?
Yes. The solution is that in as much as there are certain businesses that depends on funding for them to get going, but it's also important for us to look at those businesses that does not need much capital injection for them to get going. For example, if one starts a business in the training space, you know, where you train people, you don't need much capital injection. All you need is your intellectual capital. You sit down, you create the program that you're creating, you go and find clients who can buy this program. That's how you start the business. Of course, you'd need little money for you to do administration, this and that, for you to get the business registered and all those things. But you don't need much capital injection. So what I would advise is that entrepreneurs, they need to look into those business ideas that don't need much of capital injection for them to get forward. And then as you grow the business, you can then be able to now start to search which funders would be interested in this type of an idea, or how you can make this idea to be appealing to funders.
Wow. You know, sometimes we just have to do your own research. Because if you go out there, there are some adverts. If you realize that this company A or this bank A is advertising home loans, you know they've got money earmarked for that. And I can't go to them for a farming. You know, due diligence.
Research is important.
But I understand you wrote some books.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Which books are those?
I wrote 2 books. I'm actually finalizing my 3rd right now. I wrote 2 books. The first one was I Was Born for This. And the second one was...
I am not born for COVID anyway. Okay.
No, you're not born for COVID. Right. But you are born for a purpose.
Right.
You are born for what you are doing right now. Everything that you are bringing forward is that which you came to earth with when you were born. That's what the book is about, to say each and every one of us came here with something. So there's no one who has an excuse to say, I don't know what my life is about. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing and all that. Yes, you may not know, but that does not mean you don't have anything that you can do. All you need is you need to find people who can help you to identify that thing and put it to use. Then the second one was the making of a brand. The making of a brand, because of the fact that I'm a branding coach, it has to do with teaching people on how to build a brand. It could be a personal brand, organizational brand, or a business brand. It doesn't matter what brand you are building. There are certain building blocks that you need to put into place when you're building a brand. But moreover, is to make people understand that branding is a psychology, branding is a science, you know. Branding is about how you make people to see things the way you see things, and how you can position yourself in the hearts and the minds of people. That is why when I define branding, I say branding is everything you do on a daily basis and how you do it. You know, even though there are many other academic definitions, but my definition says it's what you do and how you do it on a daily basis. Speaking of consistency, you know, that you don't move from what you're doing the same thing every day, and there is a certain way how you are doing it. Then that's what you will be known for and be selected for.
You know, unfortunately, we ran out of time. And I need you back,
All right,
by fire, by force, to come and discuss branding.
Yes, sir.
And we are coming here back into the studio. Then me and you are going to talk branding. If someone needs to get all of you, how do they do it?
On social media, I am available on Facebook, on Instagram, and LinkedIn, Sibusiso Mfeka Global. Get in touch with me.
And I'm Charles Ngobeni, signing off on Marketplace with Charles. You can get hold of me on all forms of social media. God bless you. See you next time.
Hello everyone, my name is Cherise. I come from Pretoria.
My name is Ruth Ajayi. I'm from Nigeria.
My name is Satara Khan. I'm from Port Elizabeth.
My name is Pastor Mashani Mpahlele. My wife and I are pastoring a church in Midrand, South Africa.
I'm a second-year student at KBSM.
KBSM has truly transformed our spiritual life and our marriage life as well.
The Bible School has really helped me a lot.
I'd like to welcome you and encourage you to take the step to come and enroll with Kingdom Bible School of Ministry.
I'm encouraging you today to sign up.
We encourage you to join this Bible school.
And please remember, it's free.
Dr. Abraham S. Raja here. You've heard it all from so many different people. What are you waiting for? Join our free international Bible school today.